Hello and welcome to the lecture. So in the previous lecture we saw about the jQuery and JavaScript and the AJAX APIs and the comparison between them, and we implemented and tested that in our console, which is from the browser, and we tested that. We understand the differences, how to use, and the recommended way of using that in our application development. So now we will try to use the JavaScript in our page and we'll try to do some practical examples. So we just start with executing at the page load level. So if you go to the page tab here, and we'll see an option that is JavaScript here. If you want, you can select from here as well, from the filters. I'm used to that, so I can go to this thing where you have to declare the JavaScript functions here. So if you just declare here, it will automatically, this variable which is declared, or the function that is declared, it will be applied everywhere to its sub components. So wherever we have some other component having a JavaScript, we can use that variable or a function directly. So let's see with an example, and we'll try to add one variable here. So I'll start with let keyword. If you're familiar, that's for the declaration. Even you can use where, but now with the modern JavaScript, it's highly recommended to use with the let. Unless needed, we can use where. So we'll start with let. So I will just start with the same as my favorite word, demo. Let demo, I will just start, and I will just assign that to some value, this one, and this gives me the thing. So I'm just assigning this let demo equal to demo, the same word. So if I try to click on OK and save it, I'm not doing anything, just I wanted to tell you that this demo object is accessible or not. It is accessible to complete page. I can show you that proof, this page. So if I try to run this, and this is the console here, if I try to run the demo, I can get the value here because this was declared globally. So globally throughout the page, I can able to access that. So if I try to remove this, I'm just cutting it and saving it again. And if I try to refresh again, if I try to enter demo, it shows that demo is not defined because we have removed it. They have removed the definition and the declaration here. So that's how this thing. So this is the part of declaration concept here. So this is a place, even you can define the function here. So I can define some demo function, and I can put console.log. Maybe I'll just add a parameter here. So this will print me the value whichever we passed in this argument. So that's how. So if I try to save this and run it here, and now if I use that function demo, it shows me two lists here, right? So you can see that. So if I use demo function, it's a keyword, and you can see the definition here as well. So if it's a bigger function, you can use demo function dot to string to get more like a string manner. So that's how the thing. And this function we haven't executed yet, we just called it. So if you want to execute, you have to pass this, but we are not passing any variable now. It will return me undefined because console.log is printing what we are not passing anything, so that's printing undefined. So if I want to pass some variable like apex, not variable, it's a string, and I can see that I'm getting the apex thing. So that's how it's happening. So it takes the input here and it prints me that. And this is just a basic, because I just wanted to know that this is a global function and we can make use of it in this console as well, and that will be applied to all the components. Whichever we add some events here, we can call that. So those things will come back later on. And addition to that, this is part of the global declaration, and you can execute that here. That's this part of JavaScript section, right? You can execute that part here. So if I try to copy this thing. So this will act like a console thing. You can execute the function here. It will be called once the page is loaded. So if I try to load that page, and here you can see that it is getting printed. This is console.log, right? So it's printing me in the console. So that's how it's happening. So console.log will print me the thing and it will print me in the console. It's very useful for debugging, and somewhere if you are not confirmed what the value is passing, we'll use the console.log the most for our development, whether we are getting the right objects or it's returning undefined or not. We'll be trying to test that more with the console.log. So that's the thing. So this execute when page loads is almost similar. Even you can try to add that here as well. It will be the same here, just a separation of a definition or better practices. The Apex provided as a declaration part, and the every global side we have to use it here. If you want to execute anything, you can use it here just as a separation, but technically both works the same. And if you refresh, we can see two things here, one from the function and global variable declaration and another from the execute. So now we saw about how the page load is rendered, and it's just a part of the script tag here, which will be loaded on the body side. So if you just console and search for that, you can get the function here defined here in this script type, where you have defined the global declaration. It will be part of this, and execute when page loads, it is in part of the other function which Oracle Apex loads as a other component. But this function and global declaration will be seen as part of the elements you can see as part of the script tag. So this is the difference of that, and how the sequences. The first one would be sequence with the global declaration, of course, and then with the execute page loads. So those things we have seen, and how the page load works with JavaScript, and how to consume in Oracle Apex as well. So this is the thing. So next lecture we'll see more things about JavaScript in Oracle Apex.